Hey, how's it going everyone? In this video, I'm going to be showing you how to run your Selenium test with Docker. Also, make sure to stick till the end as I will be talking about some of the upcoming videos that I will be creating for Selenium and Docker. So let's get started. So first off, let's talk about some of the prerequisites that you need for this video. The very first thing is you need to have some basic familiarity with Docker. Now here, I'm not asking you to be an expert in Docker. All you need to know is what Docker is, how containerization solution works, and how you can run some basic Docker commands. With that being said, I will walk you through each and individual of the Docker commands that we will be running in this video. So as long as you have some really high level familiarity with Docker, you should be okay watching this video. The next one is obviously you need to have Docker installed in your machine. So for that, if you don't have that, you can actually go to this link, which I will add in the description below. So once you have your Docker installed, all you have to do is in your terminal, run docker-v. Let me show you how to do that. So I'm here on my terminal. So here, just simply type in docker-v, and this should print out the Docker version for you. So the version I'm using is 20.10.0. And it doesn't really matter which version you're using. As long as you're able to run this command and you see a Docker version, you should be okay following along with this video. So let's jump back to our slide. All right, once you have Docker installed, the next thing you need is some kind of Selenium script that you can run to actually test out your Docker solution. So this can be any script. In fact, you can actually install the script that I will be using by going to this GitHub link, which I will also add in the description below. So one thing to keep in mind is that the script can be language agnostic. You can have the script in Java, JavaScript, Python, or any language that you're using for your Selenium script. At the end of the day, what we are trying to show is how you can actually run the script in Docker. So despite which language or which framework you have your script written in, it doesn't really matter. As long as you can run that script in Docker, that's all we care about. So let me show you the script that I have created, which is in this GitHub repository. And then we will talk about how that script is written and what exactly is that script doing. All right, so I'm here in VS Code, and over here, I have created my Selenium script. Now, this is created using JavaScript. If you notice over here at the top, I'm importing the Selenium WebDriver package. And in fact, in my package.json, the only package I have is Selenium WebDriver. So here, all I'm trying to do is do a simple Google search. From there, I'm basically setting up my driver, and I have this google.com. It will go in, search for Automation Bro, and it will get the header at the very first header link that it's going to get, or basically the first result that it's finding. And then it's going to print out that text. It will print out the browser name. It will also print out the browser version. So this is a really simple script that I have created. So let me run the script and just show you how it exactly works. So first off, I'm going to change this to just Chrome driver, and then I'm going to run this test. I'll do node test.js. So here it's spinning up the browser, searching for Automation Bro, gets the first test, and it prints it out. So there you go. It says Automation Bro, Dulpijohol, YouTube, which is the first result that it finds on Google. It's printing out the Chrome, which is the browser, and it's also printing out the Chrome version, which is 91.0. So this script can be anything if you're using it on your own framework. Maybe let's say you're using some kind of JavaScript framework like WebDriver IO or Cypress, or it can be any framework that you're using. It can also be in any other language such as Java, Ruby, Python. And if you have a script created in that, the idea and the concept will still remain the same. Okay, so let's talk about the main topic here is that why do we need to run our test in Docker? What value actually we are getting out of this? If you remember, I made a small change when I was trying to run our test. This was actually set to Chrome driver version 89. So if we go over to our drivers over here, you can notice I have a Chrome driver, which is the latest version, as well as I have this Chrome driver, which is version 89. If I run this now, let's see what happens. All right, so it tried to open up the Chrome, and then all of a sudden it crashed. Now let's take a look at the error message. So the error message that I'm getting is that the session is not created. And the reason for that is saying the version of Chrome driver only support Chrome version 89. So this is interesting. What exactly happened here? So if you notice, previously when I was trying to run Chrome driver, I was running it on the latest version, which was version 91. So if I go up and I can actually show it to you in my terminal, over here, I was running it on version 91. And that's the exact same driver version that I have installed on my actual machine. What that means is if I go to Chrome right now, and over here, if I go to my settings and click on help here and do about Google Chrome, the version I have is 91.0.4472. If we go back to our VS Code, this is exactly the same version I have over here. So that means I was using the exact same version that I have installed in my machine. So the driver version and as well as my browser version, which I have installed locally, matches. But the moment I changed my driver version to 89, it's giving me an error that it does not support the Chrome version 89 anymore. What that means is the browser that is spinning up, which is my version 91 in my local machine, it's saying that that doesn't match the driver version that I'm specifying over here. So it's essentially asking me to change the version and get the latest version installed. So this is the exact same problem that we're trying to resolve with Docker. So how can Docker help with this? Well, essentially, Docker is basically a container, right? So in that container, I can have anything installed. So for example, in that container, I can have my Chrome browser installed with, let's say, version 89, and I can also have a driver version installed with, let's say, again, version 89. And then when I'm going to try to run my test, I will be running tests on the exact same version, which will match my driver version as well as my browser version, so that I do not run into this problem. So with that, every time I'm running my test in that Docker container, I'm always specifying that specific version that I'm trying to run my test in. And in future, whenever I want to update that version, I can manually go in and update my Docker image, and then I can run that test, let's say, with the latest Chrome version, which is Chrome 91, or it can be any new Chrome version that will be out there at that time. Now I know I'm just specifying all of this, but I haven't actually given you a proper example. So let's take a look at how this will work in actual example. So here's the thing, guys. I can directly go ahead and show you the solution with how to run test in Docker. But I want you guys to understand what the problem exactly is over here that we're trying to solve. So here we're not trying to just run test in Docker because Docker is popular and everyone is trying to run test in Docker, or basically everyone is using Docker nowadays. That's why we will use Docker as well. Essentially, we need to understand what our problem is. So the problem that we're trying to resolve over here is that anytime people used to run test in, let's say, a Chrome browser or a Firefox browser, whenever there's a new version update, for example, if Chrome got updated from 89 to 90, when we were trying to run a test in the latest browser, we used to get this kind of error. And this was frustrating for the users, right? Or this was frustrating for the QA engineers, for SDET, for the DevOps team, because they always have to go in and update the Chrome browser, or basically update the Chrome driver, or basically lock up that Chrome browser so that doesn't get automatically updated. So to solve this problem, Selenium came up with Docker images that can help us resolve these kind of issues. Now let's take a look at how we can actually do that. Okay, so I'm here in Docker Selenium GitHub repository. And if I scroll down, so this is the official Selenium Docker repository, which is maintained by the Selenium team. And if I scroll down, you're going to see there are multiple images included. So all of these images will have different kind of settings. The one that we are looking for right now for this video specifically is the Selenium standalone Chrome. So it's basically a Selenium standalone which has Chrome installed in the machine, and which is what we need right now, right? We need a machine that has Chrome already installed. If I scroll down, they're actually telling me how I can run those images. So here they're giving me this option. So I can do docker run -d and then basically run this command. Now I'm going to explain you this command exactly what's happening here. But first, let me copy this and head over back to our VS Code and take a look at what exactly is happening. Okay, so before we run this, let's take a look at what exactly this command is trying to do. So first off, I'm saying that Docker needs to run this particular image, which is over here. I'm passing in -d flag. That means run this in the detached mode. And then I'm saying use this port. So the first port that you see, which is 4444, is the port of your local machine. And then this another 444 that you see after the colon over here is the port of the Docker itself. So Docker has its own port, and then your machine obviously has its own port. So we are saying, okay, both of the port will remain the same. And then we're passing in -shm-size. Now this one is specific to Selenium standalone Chrome. So the reason this is important is because we are telling Docker that, hey, if you run into some memory issues, you can actually share the host memory, the host being my actual machine, which is my Mac OS over here. So I'm saying, okay, if you have any issues, you can share the memory with my Mac OS. Now, if you don't pass this in, is what will happen is when you will try to run your test in Docker, your Chrome browser will start crashing. Now, we don't want that, right? And it starts crashing because obviously it doesn't have enough memory. That's why we're saying, okay, if you have memory issues, you can share that with my host memory. So this command right here is actually really important. So make sure you put that in over here. And then after that, obviously, I'm passing in the image that I'm trying to run. So here I've specified the exact version. So this is the exact whole version that we are trying to run for my Selenium standalone Chrome image. Let me try to run this and see what happens. Okay, so I just ran this and quickly I got this container ID. Now, in your case, it might be that it's actually trying to pull this image and then you will get this kind of container ID. So it might take a few seconds for that to actually complete. But since I already pulled this image before, I got this really quickly. So if I do docker ps, which is list out all the containers that I have, what it will show me is just one container. So this is the exact same image that we just ran over here. It's telling me, okay, this is the container ID, which is over here. And then it's telling me, okay, I just spinned that up 27 seconds ago. And it's telling me that the port I spinned that up is in 4444. So what that means is I can go in my local machine and I can go to, let's say, localhost 4444, and there you go. I have Selenium standalone version, exactly that, 3.141.59. And if I go to, let's say, Selenium standalone console, I can see right now there are no session running. That means there are no tests running at the moment. Eventually, when I will be running my test or running my script, I can see the new session will get created over here and it will get cleared once the session has actually finished. Okay, so let's head back to VS Code. So we just ran a Docker container and we have our port running on 4444. Now I'm going to have to tell my script that, okay, instead of you have to use this Chrome driver, what you will need to do is actually go to the port 4444. So for that, I will do this over here and I will comment this part out. Now keep in mind that this will be different for your particular framework or your particular language that you're using. In my case over here for JavaScript, I'm going to do dot using server and I will do pass in this actual script. So this is where I'm trying to run it. So I'm doing localhost and then passing in my port and then doing WD hub. And this is important because you need to pass in WD hub so that you're actually trying to run your test over here with port or whatever you have set, which is in my case is 4444. So now let's try to run our test. So I'm going to do the same thing, do node test.js and hit enter. This time you're going to see that it will not spin up any Chrome browser. And also we just got a result as well. So I did Automation Bro, Dulpajol, YouTube, and then I got Chrome and as well as the browser that just printed out, the version of that exact browser. Now, if you're still not sure that is actually running it on the Docker container or basically it's running it on that port, let me just show you. So I'm going to do node test.js. Then I'm going to quickly head over to Chrome. Then I will refresh over here. And once I do that, as you can see, it just created a session. And this session is the Chrome driver session that it created over here. And if I refresh right now, since my test has already finished, if I go back to VS Code, as you can see, my test just finished. I will go back to Chrome. And if I refresh, it's going to clean up that session. There you go. It just cleaned up that session. So that means we were actually running a test within our Docker container. And we can see it over here. This is the port that we set up in our Docker container, which is mapping to our local machine. All right, so we just ran our first Selenium test in Docker container. Now, if you're still not sold on exactly the value that we're getting out of running a test in Docker, let me show you another example. So right now we were running a test in Chrome version 91, right? So I'm going to head over to Chrome. And here, this is the Selenium standalone Chrome version that we were using, which is 3.141.59. Now, if I go to the actual Selenium standalone Chrome Docker hub, and if I go to tags, and if I scroll down, I can actually see the same hub image that we were using or the Docker image that I was using, which is going to be somewhere here. There you go, this one, 2021-0607. And we can compare that over here as well. If I do Docker PS, there you go, 2021-607. So that's the same image. Now let's say if I don't want to use the latest image, if I want to use an old image, which is going to be, let's say, Chrome driver version 89, for example. I can go to the old one and I can search for another image that I want to use. So for example, if I need to use this image, which is 3.141.59, and it has a slightly different number, if you notice, which is 0422. So let's say if we need to use this one, I can go back to VS Code. If I do Docker PS, so here I'm using obviously 0601. I need to change this to use 0422, right? Which is going to be a different version. And I don't know which version that's going to be, but let's take a look at that. So I'm going to do Docker stop the container ID. And I'm going to do Docker run again, run the whole command, which is over here. And then I will change that one to the one that we copied. Oops, not this one. So let me head back to Chrome. So it's this version. And then simply go back to VS Code, paste it here. All right, so this is 0422 versus using 0607. All right, let me hit enter. Okay, so I already had this image, which is good. Now if I do Docker PS, so this is the new image I have. So that's good. So now let me run my test again. So here I will run my test by doing node test.js. Now one thing you need to notice is the Chrome browser version that it will print out. As you can see over here, this time this is 90.0. And this is different compared to the 91 version that we were using before with the latest image that we had. So this is the advantage that we get with Docker. By simply running my test on a different Docker image, I was able to actually get my test running on an older Chrome version. Now here I could find, let's say, an older image and run my test on 89 or 87 or any kind of Chrome version that I want to run. Now, obviously, that is not easy to do with your local machine because you're going to have to keep reinstalling new Chrome browser versions in your actual machine and then try to run your test on that. Here, I can have multiple Docker containers running and I can run my test, let's say one on version 90, another one on version 89, or another one on the latest version. That is all possible without me having to actually install any kind of Chrome browser on my actual physical machine. Another advantage that we have by using Docker is that the session creation error that we had originally when we started the video is not happening anymore. And the reason for that is when we are running a test in Docker container, the Selenium standalone Chrome is ensuring that the driver version I'm using as well as the browser version that I'm using are both same so that we don't run into this session creation error. Okay, so far we have just been running our test in Chrome browser. Now this can easily be changed. Let's say if I need to run my test in Firefox or if I need to run my test in Opera. Let's take a look at how we can do that. I go over here. Here they're saying this is how you can run the image in Chrome. I can switch that with Firefox as well. I'm going to copy this, go back here, and then paste that. And then one thing I'm going to change is, let's say instead of using port 4444, I'm going to change that to use port 4445. There you go. This is the different port. Now if I do docker ps, as you can see, I'm using two containers. One is for Chrome, which is running on 4444. Another one is running on Firefox, which is 4445. And also I can go to Chrome and I can search over here localhost 4444, which is going to be this Selenium standalone Chrome. And if I do 4445, which is going to be a different one. So that's great. Now let me run my test. So here I will simply change this to 4445 and then run my test here. So I'm going to do node test.js. Oh, okay. So the error I'm getting is unable to create new service Chrome driver because I did change this to 4445, but I forgot to change the browser, which is Firefox, because here I don't have Chrome, right? I just have Firefox. I'm going to run that. It's trying to run the test. And there you go. It just finished running the test. I got the same header over here, as well as I'm getting the Firefox, which is the browser that I'm running, as well as the Firefox browser version, which is 89.0. So I hope by now you have a clarity on why you should be running your Selenium test on Docker. Not only you can avoid the Chrome driver issues or the session creation issues that you were getting previously when the browser versions were not matching, you can also quickly switch up the browsers that you're using and run your tests in different browsers by simply spinning up a new container. As you can see, I spun up a container for Chrome and I spun up a container for Firefox. Similarly, I can spin up for different versions of Chrome as well as different versions of Firefox as well. And I can be running my tests in all of that together. So I know this video is getting a little bit longer, but in the next video, we're going to take a look at how we can run our test in Docker as well as be able to see the browser spinning up using the help of VNC. And I'm also planning to create a bunch of videos related to Selenium Docker, such as running a test in Selenium with Docker Grid, using it with Docker Compose, or let's say creating a Selenium grid and running it on AWS. So there are different kind of videos that I'm planning to do. Let me know in the comments below what you're interested in, and I can create a video similar to that topic. All right, so that's it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, there are a few ways you can support me. The easiest is by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. And if you have that means, you can also support me by buying me a coffee or joining my monthly membership on Buy Me a Coffee website. I will add the link for that in the description below. Also, one last thing, if you subscribe my mailing list, you will get access to all the latest blog posts and videos, as well as private Facebook community where we can talk to each other and discuss all things related to testing and automation. And for those of you that are supporting my videos, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me and it keeps me motivated to keep making these videos for you each week. That's all for now, guys. I will see you all in the next one.